evening, truth seekers, and welcome to Dark Sayings Live Midnight Mystery Sessions, Echoes of the Unseen. I'm Pete, a humble master of mysteries and antiquary of the arcane, guiding you through the shadows of history, the paranormal, and the extraterrestrial, with a passion for sifting through ancient truths and modern debates. I'm here to unravel the unknown for you. Tonight, as the clock strikes midnight on August 10th, 2025, we're probing 5 enigmas that echo through time. Was the Enfield Poltergeist a haunting or a hoax? Are the Anunnaki ancient gods or alien visitors? Did the Flatwoods Monster signal extraterrestrial contact? Do the Fatima Prophecies hold divine truth or mass delusion? And what secrets lurk beneath Dulce's alleged alien base? Backed by primary sources and 2025's latest debates, we'll dissect these mysteries with rigor and curiosity. Join the live chat, vote in our polls, and let's uncover what lies beyond the veil. Stay tuned, and let's begin. All right, I'm not going to take too much time dwelling on nonsense tonight. We're going to keep it nice and tight, everybody. Glad you could join us. Thank you for being here. Seeing a lot of people pouring into the chat so far. Now, we are live currently on YouTube, X, and Instagram. So hello to everybody watching wherever you may be. A lot of familiar faces popping into the chat. Give me a couple shout outs here. Jonathan Rodriguez hides in the long grass. Our moderator, Tina Tomaszewski. Thank you for your contribution to this community, Tina. Joe Reynolds is here. The Unbelievers Podcast, my man, Russ Ryan. How is it going, dude? Russell Rose. Dave, how you doing there, Russell? Nice to meet you. And Ginger Viking Jesus rounding out here as so many of you start to trickle in. So we broke it down. We got 5 topics tonight. I want to get through all this information as succinctly as possible. I had a lot more time to plan for today's stream than I have in the past, and I think we're moving in a direction towards tightening things up more and more as we go along. So I appreciate your patience as we kind of iron out the kinks. It took me a little bit to kind of get back in the swing of things, but at least, we got these going on again. Now, I spoke last week about some of these other videos I've been working on. Unfortunately, got delayed again this week, but we are on track to finally get some stuff rolling. I've got some footage filmed, and I just need to sit down and edit it. Fortunately, I'm off tomorrow and have no prior obligations, so we should hit the ground rocking this week. So thank you again for your continued patience as we try to get all the bugs ironed out. All right. So, like I said, 5 topics going into it tonight. These are some of the big hitters from the world of the fringe. And if you've noticed, I've kind of dipped my toe back in with some of the bigger topics, trying to get more eyes on this. So in that regard, if you are a fan of this channel, if you believe in what we do here, please share it out. Just tell somebody about it. Anybody in your life that might be interested in this kind of stuff, make them aware of what we do here. There's an enormous back catalog. And like I said before, I'm going to start trickling those old videos back out with some updates, new bumper intros, and a dedicated playlist for an archive section. I've had many people asking about it. So yeah, that's something we're going to be working on. All right. So let me see what else we got happening. Last but not least, what am I working on here? I had an interesting comment this evening regarding an opportunity. So I don't want to talk about it too much, and I'm not going to put all my eggs in that basket, but it's kind of like an opportunity of a lifetime. So I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. When it all shakes out one way or the other, I'll kind of fill you guys all in on it. All I ask is that if you're a person of faith, or even if you're just spiritual, please keep me in your thoughts, prayers, and intentions as I strive for something new, something interesting in the world of creating, and a chance to do something a little different. Yeah. So with that in mind, let's get rocking. All right, first up, our topic to start the night is the Enfield Poltergeist. Was this a supernatural haunting or an elaborate hoax? See, in the late 1970s, a London council house became the stage for one of Britain's most famous hauntings, the Enfield Poltergeist. Now, we're going to explore whether or not this was a genuine paranormal event or a clever fabrication, tracing the history of the occurrence all the way up to the debates that are happening now in 2025. So let's step back together to the year 1977. Now, as many of you know, I'm an old punk rocker. And, while I was not even alive in 1977, that was the year of the genesis of punk rock music. So a lot of old punk tunes point to that year as being very seminal in the existence of the genre. So I digress. That 77 stuff comes back a lot, especially in the circles I run in. Regardless, we're going to travel back to merry old England in 1977 in Enfield, North London. The Hodgson family reported furniture sliding, eerie whispers, and objects soaring through the air. Peggy Hodgson, a single mother, pinpointed her daughters, especially Janet, as the epicenter per the Daily Mirror interviews from 1977. A police officer witnessed a chair levitate, documented in a 1978 Metropolitan Police report. By 1978, Maurice Gross of the Society for Psychical Research logged 2,000 incidents per their archives. In 2025, online discussions with widespread engagement revisit these claims, linking them to modern paranormal fascination. No tangible proof of spirits was ever found, yet the case gripped the world. Janet's trance-like voices recorded by Gross still fuel debate. A 2025 BBC podcast with over 80,000 downloads reignites questions about what really occurred. This haunting laid the foundations for decades of intrigue. Now we're going to delve into the chilling details. Janet Hodgson was just 11 years old and reportedly spoke in a gruff male voice, claiming to be a spirit named Bill Wilkins. Now, per Gross's 1978 recordings, neighbors saw furniture glide across rooms, like the Times reported in 1978. There were nightly knocks and bangs and echoes captured in a 1979 BBC tape. Now, investigators would note that there were toys levitating, per the Society for Psychical Research journal in 1978. But now in 2025, online forums compare these to classic poltergeist patterns. No scientific explanation fully accounts for the noises, though some point to building vibrations. Photos of Janet floating in bed, published in 1978, remain divisive, with over 30 witnesses dismissing it as outright is tough, but proof still stays out of reach. Could this be a ruse? Skeptics like Joe Nickel in 2024 Skeptical Inquirer wrote an article suggesting the Hodgson sisters faked voices and movements for attention. Janet admitted to minor pranks in a 1980 Daily Mail interview, though she upheld most claims. Acoustic studies in 2025, per the Acoustics Journal, link the knocks to pipe vibrations. No lab confirmed the recordings as supernatural. Online skeptics argue family stress drove the phenomenon, pointing to psychological triggers. The 1978 BBC media frenzy likely inflated the story, and a 2025 Guardian analysis highlights timeline inconsistencies among the witnesses. Without hard evidence, skeptics tilt towards fabrication. Yet, the case's complexity keep it alive. Now, the story didn't vanish quietly. The Enfield Poltergeist inspired The Conjuring 2 in 2016, raking in $320 million per Box Office Mojo. A 2025 Netflix documentary with 1 million views revisits the haunting. Online hashtags like hashtag Enfield Poltergeist still gain traction in 2025, showing the enduring pull of the story. Maurice Gross's methods, still taught in 2025 SPR seminars, shaped paranormal research. An online forum debate is the role in modern ghost hunting. The Hodgson family's trauma, detailed in a 1978 interview, adds a human dimension. A 2025 podcast episode drew 90,000 downloads per analytics, and Enfield remains a gold standard for poltergeist claims, weaving fear and skepticism. So why is Enfield all abuzz in 2025? These online discussions link the case to new paranormal tech, like EMF detectors, with thousands engaging. A Reddit thread with strong upvote debates whether Janet was possessed or performing. Influencers look to the Enfield spiritualism trends per Paranormal Review, though no fresh evidence has surfaced. But the case's ambiguity keep it alive. A poll conducted just this year shows that 45% lean towards a supernatural cause, although online skeptics argue it's a media-driven myth, gaining significant traction. Live chat Now, I wonder, do you think, is this a haunting or a hoax? The resurgence now in 2025 mirrors a current paranormal obsession, which just keeps us guessing. So, before we roll into the next topic, let's do a quick poll and see where everybody's at. Also, I'm going to dip back into the chat and see how everybody's doing. So let me pop over here so I can see this other screen I got open. Very good. Very well. No, this is where I do the polls at. Okay. Start a poll. All right, everybody, here we go. Oh man, I can't spell nothing right, and I'm way off screen. I'm trying to do this right. All right, I'm still here. I think that's right. Let's see. There's got to be a faster way to do this. All right, I'm somewhere here. All right, poll's ready to go. Let's start the poll. Thank you for your patience. I know I'm a little far off screen here. I'm trying to do things at once. Maybe if I move the keyboard a little bit closer, that would help. Doesn't help my eyes one bit. But anyway, polls up, everybody. So the question is, Enfield, hoax or haunting? And this is what we'll do. I guess in between the topics, we'll delve into the chat a little bit, take a poll, see where everybody's at, and we'll move on from there. Let's see what's going on here. Where are we at? Oh, I got a message here from Ginger Viking Jesus. The Enfield. This isn't Enfield, Connecticut, is it? No, Ginger. This is North London. In Great Britain. Yeah, no, not Enfield, Connecticut. No Connecticut. No Connecticut connection here. Although I know that Connecticut is rife with many haunting tales. So not even a bad place to mine for some stories. You know what I mean? So yeah, Pete, what do you know or think about when the soldiers were seeing objects when they were in the red spectrum? Now, you know, I've kind of heard about this just a little bit there, Russell, Rose, Dave, or Dove, rather. This was a story, I believe, in my mind. I know it's associated with war. I cannot recall if the first occurrence was during the Vietnam War or during the Gulf War. For some reason, I'm leaning towards Vietnam. But again, I've only briefly heard about this story. I'm trying to recollect most of the details. Objects in the red shift, and maybe that's why they moved away from that as night vision. I don't know. I do believe that we are limited in our senses, and it's very likely that there are things we cannot perceive. I am a firm believer in the existence of a spiritual realm, and it is very likely that it is parallel to ours in many ways, maybe overlapping in some regions, or thinly associated with one another in some kind of loose connection. But I do believe in a spiritual world, and very much the way that some animals can navigate the magnetic field of the earth. I think that we as humans are limited in our perception of some of these, loosely I say, entities, beings, phenomenon. You know, there's a lot more to the story than I would say meets the eye in many regards. So, you know, as we work towards understanding a lot of these things, we got to take into account the limits of technology. I always feel when it comes to ghost hunting, and I tell Ginger Viking Jesus is always telling me I need to go on a ghost hunt. I always tell him I'm not a ghost hunter, I'm a researcher. But I often wonder why these paranormal investigators rely so much on technology and not outright magic. I mean, why are you going to bring a scientist? You need a wizard. You get yourself a wizard, then you're going to get some hot ghost action. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my 2 cents there. All right, I don't want to take too long here, dilly-dallying with everybody. Jeff of the David clan. How you doing, Jeff? Jeff's torn on this one. The Unbelievers podcast. Stop the count. What's going on? Is the integrity of the poll corrupted? And RR points out, yes, the light spectrum proves we only see a small amount of things. Tina points out with some accurate scientific information here, the human eye can see a narrow band of the electromagnetic spectrum called the visible light spectrum, which ranges from approximately 380 to 700 nanometers, and this represents only a tiny fraction, about 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So yes, interesting stuff there. Thank you, Tina, for the some science bomb there you dropped on us. But it's true, we are limited in our perceptions here. So I'm going to wrap up the poll now. We're going to move on to the next topic. Let's see where we left off. Ending the poll. Wrap it up now. Let's see what it has to say. Where's everybody at with this? The Enfield haunting. Now, according to the chat here, 53% of you agree that the Enfield situation was a true haunting, while 46% believe it was a hoax. So that's a pretty slim margin there. Almost pretty even split. And while the haunting does edge out, we do have to consider a lot of skepticism around this case. A lot of skepticism. All right, so I want to thank you everybody for including your voice in the poll. We're going to keep doing that in between our topics here, get a pulse of what you guys are feeling. Hey, what's up, Deus Zod? Jake Carr hanging out. A little talk about Annabelle and Warren Museum. Unbelievers is right. There's a lot of moving and shaking going on with the old Warren estate. New owners, new stories, new tales are going to be sure spun, and we'll see how that goes. All right, we're going to move on to topic number 2, the Anunnaki and Sumerian myth, ancient aliens or mythic gods. Now, the Anunnaki are deities in Sumerian texts, and they're central to theories of ancient extraterrestrial contact. We're going to examine their origins, the alien interpretations, and the debate raging today. So we're going to journey to ancient Mesopotamia. It's around 3000 BC, and Sumerian cuneiform tablets, preserved in the British Museum, describe the Anunnaki as gods who shaped humanity, per the Enuma Elish. By 2500 BC, the Epic of Gilgamesh cast them as divine rulers. In 1976, Zechariah Sitchin's The 12th Planet claimed they were aliens from a planet called Nibiru, and this ignited a firestorm of debate. In the current year, online discussions with thousands of engagements tie the Anunnaki to modern UFO theories. Though no archaeological evidence backs any extraterrestrial claims, per the Archaeological Journal article presented in 2024, Sumerian priests saw the Anunnaki as spiritual beings, not physical. A History.com piece published this year highlights their role in creation myth, and these ancient texts fuel a lot of cosmic speculation today. Now, let's explore the alien angle a little bit. Sitchin's 76 book, 1976 that is, argued that the Anunnaki engineered humanity to mine gold, citing tablets like Enki and the Ninhursag. Scholars, per a 2024 Sumerian Studies critique, dispute this translation. In 2025, online forums were widespread with engagement linking the Anunnaki to UFO disclosure narratives. Some claim their sky chariots were spacecraft, though texts suggest symbolic vehicles. No advanced tech artifacts have surfaced, according to National Geographic. A 2025 YouTube video that got over 800,000 views pushed this alien theory even further. And critics claim that Sitchin's was cherry-picking texts, and it's the idea's cosmic allure blending myth and science that keeps it going. Well, the question is there any proof? Assyriologist Michael Heiser, in a 2024 Journal of Ancient Near Eastern Studies piece, shows that the Anunnaki are mythological, not alien figures. Tablets located at the University of Pennsylvania Museum lack extraterrestrial hints, and an archaeological review published in 2025 finds no anomalous artifacts in Mesopotamia. Online skeptics argue the theory exploits translational gaps, gaining traction and moving forward with the story. Psychological studies, per a 2024 Cognitive Science article, tie the belief into a need for cosmic origins, but no peer-reviewed study supports the alien claims. Online debates in the modern era question Sitchin's credentials. Though the Anunnaki remain divine in their historical context, they're still not aliens in those tablets. So the Anunnaki influence is very vast. It inspired things like Stargate and Prometheus, shaping science fiction per a film studies journal published in 2025. A documentary on Sumerian myths hit over 1.2 million views just on YouTube, and one hashtag, like hashtag Anunnaki, gained a lot of momentum this year. New Age groups, per Spirituality Today, view them as spiritual guides, and online forums tie them to ancient astronaut theories. A podcast published this year with an episode that drew over 70,000 downloads it says that their reach spans religion and pop culture, and the notion of alien gods captivates even with no evidence. So why are the Anunnaki trending again today? Online posts with thousands of engagements link them to UAP, now I'm using this only in the case of governmental stuff, hearings suggesting ancient contact. Meanwhile, on Reddit, a thread with strong upvotes debates Nibiru's existence, citing no evidence. Now, conspiracy influencers push the alien narrative, according to Paranormal Review. And their online polls showed that 50% lean towards extraterrestrial origins. Skeptics, however, with significant support, call it pseudoscience. And I can ask you guys, are these gods or aliens? We've all heard of the Anunnaki. We've seen the TV specials. We've noticed the incredible hair on Giorgio Tsoukalos on Ancient Aliens as they discuss these things. We're all familiar with Eric Von Daniken and Chariot of the Gods. And likewise, Zachariah Sitchin was a big hitter in this realm for a very long time. So I want to know what you guys think again as we wrap up this topic. I'm going to throw another poll in the chat. Let's see where you guys land with this one. I'm going to try and do this without disappearing off screen here as I did so rudely earlier. Ginger asked, allegedly, it has some wonky ass orbit around our solar system. Oh, Fedorable Horrible's here. How you doing, Fed? The thing with Nibiru is they say it's on like an enormous like orbit that spans thousands of years. And I think some claims report to be about 13,000, while others reach up to 23,000 years this orbit's supposed to be. One way or another, I do think there was a great calamity in our solar system at some point in the ancient past. I think that the asteroid belt speaks to this. Perhaps there was a planet between, the inner solar system and the outer solar system that was destroyed. Legends would speak to this. We think of names like Tiamat and Marduk, the Babylonian god, and the primordial serpent. So a lot of these things may converge at some particular point in the past. But for now, we just kind of wonder. So let me get this poll up here. We're going to start a poll. We're going to say Anunnaki. And spell that right, of course not. Come on, fiddlesticks. Let's get it right. There we go. Anunnaki. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Anunnaki, we're going to say, are they gods or are they aliens? I hate this keyboard. I feel like the keys are too close together. All right. Polls up. Yeah, I don't know. My keyboard took a dump on me and I had to get a new one. And I don't know. It's kind of compact, but I feel like I'm hot dog fingering all over the keyboard, It's like crazy. Just smashing them. Smash them with hot dog fingers. All right. We're going to tell you, you get old and your fingers get fat like big old sausages, just like the rest of you if you give up and eat a lot of ice cream and soda. That's what happens. That's how it goes. Anyway, get the poll up and running. Let's check the chat, see what's going on. Fedorable, they're interdimensional incursions. Now, this could be the case with a lot of these type of entities. I generally do lean in the direction of ultra-terrestrials and that these things do not come from space. When I started this endeavor about 10 years ago, I honestly believed in more of these topics than I do currently. And I think that, over the years, I became very skeptical of the nature of space. It's the idea of it being populated by anything. It's just, you'd see something. I feel like we'd see something by now. And while, there's plenty of videos of, the space station catching a bubble go by or other strange phenomenon, I don't know. I'm just hard pressed to believe they're not already here. And again, I know I've mentioned this before. I almost lean in the direction of like atmospheric beasts, that there are these kind of lighter than air creatures, and they exist out there in the ether somewhere. And I also think they're responsible for phenomenon like star snot, so that could have something to do with it as well. Jake Carr points out that as the regular rank and file citizenry becomes more aware of these kind of topics, the topics themselves seem more like baloney. And I mean, you're probably right to that degree. I often lament like just a change in culture over the last 20 years. To some degrees, I think it's great, and in other ways, it's not so much. Personally, I grew up at an interesting time where a lot of the things that are popular now, like superheroes and the science fiction and all these kind of things, were not so popular among the in crowd. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I took a lot of flack for the stuff I was interested in, and that includes the kind of pop culture I liked and the weirdo stuff I've been into since I was 10 years old. So I've watched what happens when your average person gets involved in like these niche areas, and I think that the superhero genre is a great way to illustrate my point. For a good decade, the fine people at Marvel were able to crank out hit after hit, just chewing up money out of people's pockets, and it worked really well for them. But then at some point, like I think we all noticed that the culture changed and entertainment kind of like I guess they had to keep up with the times to keep making money. They felt, and in their effort to stay politically correct, I think they really ruined their brands. A lot of these long established properties were put in the hands of inexperienced people who don't have any concern for the characters. And I think that the realm of the strange is very much the same way. I see a lot of people venturing into this kind of fringe realm here that have virtually no idea what they're talking about, or they're either willfully not doing any real research. And like, that's the crux of what you do when you're into this stuff. Like, that is what it's about. Even if you're not making content, like I didn't start making content until 10 years ago, but I've been into this weird stuff since I was about 10 years old. That's a good 3 decades where only one of them being used to create content in that regard. So for me, the research, the understanding, the knowledge, and the rabbit holes was a big part of this effort. So when I see, a content creator, especially these ones that do it under the guise of comedy, they do their political critiques and like, they act like I don't understand how people can be leftist and truth seekers at the same time. It's kind of an anomaly for me when you consider the history of this kind of movement, largely libertarian. Think about the big figures that stood out in the late 90s that really kind of brought this kind of stuff to the forefront. Your Bill Cooper's a major one there. And, check out some of his CNN interviews. They're very poignant. He was very astute. And the guy knew what he was talking about. And over the years, this has become a business. I think that it was definitely something where if you were taking flack, you were over the target in the past. But now there's a lot. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I got into this to make a few bucks myself all way back when. And, I recently realized after all the time I've dumped into this that, that's really not the most noble goal. I just, I was upfront about my intentions. I never wanted to mislead any of you guys. I started doing this channel to make some money. But over the years, I've had my issues up and down, whether they were personal or semi-professional in this regard. And, things changed. Life changes, circumstance change. And, me as a person, I've grown significantly in the years between that first video going up and this occasion we find ourselves speaking at right now. So one day I just decided that it was more important to me to just create than it was to earn revenue. And I mean, let's face it, I'm not really raking in the big bucks. It's not like I'm Mr. Beast over here. But it's about the love of the game. It really is. And I kind of figure that like, not everybody gets to the major leagues, but if you have a solid career on a AAA team, you get to play the game you love for the rest of your life. That's pretty solid, man. That's pretty solid. So, I'm thankful to be doing what I do. And I can definitely tell you that, this has changed in the years that more and more normal folk have gotten into it. And on the one hand, I like that people are waking up. I really do. And that these things are becoming more well-known topics. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing in many regards. I think it's it always has been the same crux of the argument. The shills, the shills really ruin it for everybody. So it is what it is. What's up? Fedorable. Humanity is a long way to go before we're all kumbaya with one another. I don't think that'll ever happen. We are like Klingons, man. We're a warrior race. Humans war. And it's not like we're going out of the stars and warring with other aliens. We're warring with each other here on the planet. Wild stuff, So I don't know. Let's see the results of this poll. All right, if you're just joining us now, whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or here on YouTube, we've been talking about a couple topics here tonight. Started with the Enfield Poltergeist. Excuse me. Pardon me. Whew. Got a little bit of the old heartburn. Sorry about that. And we just wrapped up a topic regarding the Anunnaki and Sumerian myth. And then we're just about to check the poll here and see what the results are. Gave you all a chance to vote on this topic. What do you think the Anunnaki are? Gods or aliens? Gods or aliens? And it looks like with an overwhelming 77%, most of you believe that the Anunnaki were, in fact, ancient aliens. So can't fault you for that. Me myself, I think that there was ample biblical and extra biblical evidence to connect the Anunnaki to a group like the Watchers, the fallen angels. There seem to be a lot of parallels between the two, if you ask me. But I digress. So yeah, overwhelmingly, you guys think the Anunnaki are actually aliens. That's good to know. It's good to know. Unbeliever Podcast with Super Chat coming in for $4.99. Thank you very much. And look, everybody, if you don't know by now, Unbelievers Podcast is awesome. They're like the only podcast I listen to consistently and have for many years. Pardon me. Sister show to the Unbelievable Podcast, founded by Brian Frangie over, 14 years ago? Wow, that's a long time there, Russ. Been unbelieving for a long time, bro. But thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. And, like I say, I never expect them, folks, but I always appreciate them. Every little bit helps. I know times are tough all over. So, if you can be so generous to share, I am humbled by it, but I don't expect it from anybody. So if you're just here, thank you. And, like I said, just tell people about this. It really helps me out a lot more than you would know. So yeah, or share this stuff, share it, post it on your socials, let people know, say, hey, this is that dude Pete I was talking about. Check them out, thank you. And I appreciate that, Russ. Thank you so much. And Head Honcho, neither, they were fallen. And you're right along with what I was talking about there, Head Honcho. I think that the Anunnaki were more akin to the fallen angels, ultra-terrestrial beings that are from Earth but are not human, non-corporeal, non-human intelligences. So I think there's definitely something to that. And RR chimes in as well. Fallen angels. That's absolutely. I think we're all dead on the money for that one. All right. So we're moving right along. We're about halfway through the show now. A little bit more than halfway through the show. Oh, we got another super chat rolling in. Oh, thank you. You humble me. Let's see where we're at. I want to get to topic number 3 here. Just scrolling around. Jeff of the David clan. $2.50. Thank you very much for the $2.50 there, Jeff. The Jeff says, I just want to say, antediluvian. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, the antediluvian world. It's an old thing from the channel here. We would, whenever someone would cite the name antediluvian, we'd all enjoy a bolt off of one of our beverages. And I think I'll do the same here. I've got this super double energy drink, and I feel like I could use about 4 of these to keep on rocking. I mentioned this before, sleep disorder, not good stuff. Like apnea, insomnia, weird stuff going on. And I'm not even like stressed out or anything. Like I've been feeling pretty good lately and just can't sleep right. Bad sleep hygiene, the doctor says. I got to go back in a couple weeks to see what's what. Anywho, where was I going on with this? The point is that I had a very productive day. I woke up very early today to go get the electrical system on my new car checked out. I just noticed the windshield wipers were coming on every once in a while by themselves. Apparently, there's a rain sensor and they're set to automatic. Didn't realize that was the case. The car didn't come with a manual, so I'm like looking at stuff online trying to figure it all out. I figure I can probably order one from the manufacturer, but we'll see. Anywho, it didn't cost me nothing to get it looked at, and apparently everything's fine. So just cover my bases. But in that regard, I hit the auto repair shop at like 8 a.m. By 9 a.m., I was around the corner at the inspection station. That took about 20 minutes. Then I had a landscaper come over, give me an estimate for some work I wanted done outside. So yeah, busy day. And then I had to, I had to go to my place of employment as well. So yeah, busy day all around. So here I am, just kicking away, trying to get this show railed out for you. So yeah, let me wrap up this poll here. Okay, ending it. Oh, since I said something, it looks like the numbers have changed. They have dropped. So yeah, with the final tally being 72% for the aliens and 27% for the gods. So as far as the Anunnaki goes, more of you believe that they were actually aliens. Ho, Ginger, a Viking, Jesus, Ginger Viking Jesus with $5. Thank you, Ginger, much appreciation. Just because they're allegedly able to manufacture life doesn't make them gods. Technologically advanced, maybe, but they are not divine. And I agree with that there, Ginger Viking Jesus. There is only one God, Ginger Viking Jesus. And I don't believe that he's got a bird face and 4 wings and he's stomping around ancient Sumer, making people mine gold. So yeah, that's not something I buy into. I do think there could be a Watcher connection, however, and that's something we could probably explore at a different topic later on. And thank you very much, Ginger Viking Jesus. I appreciate that. Thank you. You humbled me. Moving right along, Guru Augie, a long time supporter of the channel. Been hanging around for a very long time, Guru. God, it's been so many years. I want to say at the very least 7, but it might be even longer than that. You've been around a long time, bro. Thank you, Guru Augie, for $5. You're a solid dude. Guru says, Pete, remember, you're the best. Keep it up. Hope you're doing good, brother. And peace be upon you and the community. Well, thank you, Guru Augie. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good lately. I've actually been really focusing on positivity lately. Trying to just look at the bright side of things at all times. I feel that, like, I've had a breakthrough spiritually in my faith. And I'm trying not to worry about these things. It's like the scriptures say, you can worry all you want, but that's not going to add 1 minute to your life, So, my mom used to always say, she still does, we walk by faith and not by sight. And I think those are, words to live by. So I've just been trying to stay positive, keeping the faith, fight that good fight against the forces of evil in your own heart, in your own soul. You gotta constantly face the snares of the demon and resist them. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good. Just gotta fix this sleep situation, and then we'll be okay. Because I'm like a mess. I just keep falling asleep. I can take these micro naps. I sit down too long. It's over, man. It's over, man. It's just like that. Anywho, we're gonna roll into topic number 3. I want to thank you guys for the super chats, Guru Augie, Ginger Viking Jesus, as well as Jeff of the David Clan and the Unbelievers podcast so far. Thank you very much. Very generous of you all. Very kind of you. So yeah, let's keep on rocking. Unbeliever says you're doing great, Pete. We all grow and adjust. Thank you very much. Guru Augie says I've been around since CLB days. Well, I know that, Guru Augie, but that was only like a year ago. We did the CLB thing for like 9 years. It's not like it's so far distant in the past. Like, it was only a year ago I changed the name of the channel. So, you've been around a lot longer than that, bro. Yeah. My narcolepsy is rubbing off on Pete. No, Tina doesn't got that narcolepsy. I don't think I have narcolepsy. I think I'm just so exhausted that when I sit down too long, I nod off, and I don't sleep very long. So I'm taking like 20-minute micro naps all throughout the day. Anytime I'm like not on my feet, it's weird. Yeah. So I think I'm probably gonna have a massive heart attack or a stroke because of it. I'm not looking forward to that. Don't want to be on the job and then have a heart attack and deuce myself on the way to the ground and then I'm laying there all heart attacky with soiled pants. Oh, that's great. Okay. We're going to roll into the next topic. Topic number 3 tonight is the Flatwoods Monster encounter. Was this an alien visitor or a misidentification? You see, in 1952, a West Virginian sighting of the Flatwoods Monster sparked a lot of UFO lore. And we're going to investigate whether this was an extraterrestrial encounter or a case of mistaken identity. The 1952 sighting in Flatwoods, West Virginia, you get a group of boys and a woman named Kathleen May. They see a glowing object crash, per reports from the Charleston Gazette in 1952. And they then encountered a 10-foot tall creature with a head shaped like the ace of spades, per the West Virginia Archives testimony. It emitted a sulfurous odor and glided towards them, they claimed. Air Force investigators found no physical evidence, per a 1952 report. And in 2025, online discussions with thousands of engagement revived the story amid many UFO debates. The sighting was brief, but its impact lingers. In 2025, a podcast episode gained over 60,000 downloads per analytics, and it was regarding this event, which helped shape early UFO culture, leaving us wondering, what did they see? And we're going to dive into the extraterrestrial side of things. First, we got to account for witnesses describing a glowing craft and a robotic figure. And this is detailed in the MUFON archives from 1952. Some note red glowing eyes, again fueling alien theories, per UFO magazine in 1953. In the current year, online forums with strong engagement tie it to UFO disclosure. And some suggest an alien scout, but there's no craft debris ever found. A video that was released this year on YouTube with over 700,000 views recreates the encounter. This creature's look aligns with what 1950s sci-fi aesthetics were, according to Cultural Studies Journal, publishing in 2024, and no biological evidence supports any alien presence. But the story's vivid imagery keeps it alive in UFO lore. So was this really an alien? Skeptics like Joe Nickel in a 2024 Skeptical Inquirer piece proposed a barn owl with its spade-like face and glowing eyes, being mistaken for the creature. The crash was likely a meteor, per a 1952 astronomical journal. The sulfurous smell could have been swamp gas. Again with the swamp gas. Yeah, if you've been studying UFOs for any length of time, you will know swamp gas is a thing that they always, oh man, that wasn't a giant flying saucer. It was clearly swamp gas. Plenty of that happens. Again, the sulfurous smell could be swamp gas, per common beliefs in the Flatwoods. And 2025 environmental science piece, where online skeptics with significant traction argue mass hysteria exaggerates these kind of events, So there's no physical traces like burns being verified, per Air Force files. And an article written this year on history cites psychological factors in group sightings. The 1950s UFO craze post-Roswell shaped perspectives and perceptions, and evidence leans towards natural causes, not extraterrestrial. So again, these things are where? Somewhere? Are they a breakaway civilization? Or they're ground? I don't know. I digress. This Flatwood Monster became a legend, inspiring a 1952 Weird Tales story, and this was the magazine published by Ray Palmer, and even figurines here in 2025, according to Pop Culture Review. The Flatwoods Monster Museum draws 5,000 visitors per year, and a 2025 travel guide reported this. Again, online hashtags like Flatwoods Monster gained traction in 2025. It appears in Fallout 76, embedding it in gaming culture, per a 2025 Game Studies. And online forums debate its role in the UFO archetype. A documentary released this year with 800,000 views per analytics says the sighting fueled the 1950s UFO mania. And per 2024's UFO History Journal, its legacy thrives on amid vivid imagery and mystery. So we ask ourselves, why is Flatwood trending today? These discussions online with thousands of engagements link it to the UAP hearings. I use UAP when it's government doing it, UFO when us real people are doing it. So these UAP hearings suggest a cover-up, and a Reddit thread with strong upvotes debates alien versus owl theories. Conspiracy influencers push extraterrestrial claims, per a 2025 Paranormal Review. An online poll shows 40% favor an alien explanation, while skeptics online with significant support cite misidentification. So we can ask ourselves, is this Flatwoods Monster incident, was this an alien or a natural event? Do you think this was a bird of some kind, or was this actually an alien? So let's roll it up and pull it up. I'm going to write you up or I'm going to fight you up, right? You know, that's how it goes. What is happening here? All right. Doing things all wrong. Okay, got it gone. All right, we're going to pop a new poll up. This is going to be the the roll regarding the oh man, what was this one? Boopity bop. Flatwoods. Okay. We're going to do Flatwoods. I'm going to do Monster. I swear to God. These keys. Oh, that's not what I have to do. All right, poll's good to go. Poll going up. Thank you for your patience. I got to figure out a way to do this so I'm not all the way off screen every time I do. Come on, fat fingers. Yeah, thank you. All right. Where we at? Okay, here we go. Polls up. I want to know what you guys think. The Flatwoods Monster is an alien, monster cryptid, or something else? Is it a natural phenomenon? Is it some kind of animal, you know, that is not a creature of the night or whatever? Swamp Gas Classic Trip says, RR, you're absolutely right. Pete flexing about his fancy car. It is pretty fancy. It's pretty fancy. I didn't know I like it right away because it's big, but I've really come to enjoy driving it around. It's like a beast on the road. It's nice. All right, where are we going? Where are we going? Daniel's Hot Topics. Hi, bud. How's it doing? How you doing, Daniel? Justin Christopher hanging out. Fedora with Horrible. I got a 3016 Kia Forte 5 hatchback. Suck to see me rolling. They be hating. 2016, you mean, not a 3016. That would make a lot of sense. Unless, you know, the timeline's fake. That could be the case too. Flamenco chronology, anybody? Mud floods? Who knows? Who knows? Okay. I heard about a possible alien invasion coming to Earth, and they're not friendly. Oh, the Atlas thing. Yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago when it was first spotted. So, like, when it was first came around, I saw they were talking about it was a comet. And then Avi Loeb published a paper where they're like, oh, it could be here in about, November if it's aliens. So we don't know. We don't know yet. I'm not sure. I think this could be an extraterrestrial incursion if extraterrestrials are real. But again, I don't know what's going on in space. I don't know. I feel like it's all a lie. Jeff of the David Clan. When in doubt, think cryptid. Thank you so much, Jeff of the David Clan. Very kind of you. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. So we're going to poll up and running. Is this going to be, an alien, a monster, a cryptid, or is this some kind of animal? We'll see. We'll see what you guys think. Come on, fat fingers. Come on, fat fingers. Type away for me. Hot dog fingers. Bun length fingers. Could you imagine? Bun length fingers. They call me the bun lengther. I don't mean that. It sounds wrong. The bun lengther. Yeah, like what are you doing with that hot dog, mister? I don't want to know. I don't know what you're doing with that hot dog. Oh, now I see. Well, that's a different story. Oh, okay. We're gonna move right along here. Let's see what the poll is. How long has that poll been up? I gotta check. I like to leave it up for a few minutes. Okay. All right, it's only been up for 2 minutes. This is gonna be your last opportunity to vote in the poll. I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, 1. Poll ending. See what our final results are here of the poll. All right. Flatwoods Monster Alien Cryptid, 75%. Natural, 25%. Well, there you go. Definitive. I wonder if we did the same for the Jersey Devil. Would that be the case? I don't know. Probably not. Who knows? I think that thing might have some flesh and blood on it. Might be more than one of them. Who could really say? The legend doesn't have to be perfect in that regard, for the thing to be real. Let's see. Ginger says, I've known a couple of people with spider fingers. Well, that sounds kind of gross. I don't want to know about that. Don't want to know what that is. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Where are we at? Topic number 4. This is topic number 4 coming in here now. Topic number 4. All right. The Fatima Prophecies. Are these divine visions or mass hysteria? Mass hysteria. I mean, mass hysteria. I'm just saying stuff silly. The 1917 Fatima apparitions in Portugal involving 3 children and divine prophecies remain a religious and paranormal touchstone. We're going to explore their significance today in 2025. The 1917 apparition. When you go back to 1917 in Fatima, yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, okay. Let's nail this down. Fatima is apparitions that happen in Portugal. There were 3 children, divine prophecies, and it's still a religious and paranormal touchstone. We're going to look at the significance of this in 2025, starting with the 1917 apparitions. So in Fatima, Portugal, there were 3 shepherd children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta, and they reported visions of the Virgin Mary per Vatican archives in 1917. Sorry, itchy nose. Where would we leave off? From May to October, the children described a radiant lady delivering prophecies per Lucia's 1941 memoir. On October 13th, 70,000 witnesses saw the miracle of the sun, a spinning disc per Zero Seculo newspaper in 1917. The Vatican endorsed the apparition in 1930 per Acta Apostolica Sedis. In 2025, online discussions with thousands of engagements tie the event to UFO theories. No physical evidence of Mary was found, but the mass sighting is striking. A Catholic Herald article published this year revisits the event, and Fatima has shaped modern Catholic devotion, sparking endless debates. So we're going to unpack these prophecies because this has been a big point of contention all the way back to when Art Bell was interviewing Malachi Martin on Coast to Coast AM. Let's unpack these prophecies first. The children received 3 secrets per Lucia's 1941 memoirs of Sister Lucia. The first depicted hell, the second predicted World War II, and the third, revealed in 2000, foretold papal persecution per Vatican archives. The sun miracle seen by thousands resembled a UFO per 2025 online post with strong engagement. The prophecy's apparent accuracy, like World War II, fuels belief. And a theological studies piece was published in 24, citing that no independent verification exists for the visions. A 2025 podcast episode drew 100,000 downloads per analytics. Online forums debates the secrets of geological impact, the prophecy's mystique drive their enduring fascination. So was this divine? Skeptic like Brian Dunning in his 2024 Skeptoid podcast suggests mass hysteria and optical illusions like perihelion caused the sun effect. Psychological studies in 2025 Journal of Social Psychology link group visions to collective stress. No meteorological record confirms a spinning sun per a 1917 Portugal weather disc. Online skeptics with significant traction argue that the children's stress shaped their claim. The Vatican's selective release of secrets per 2000 Le Osservatore Romano fuels suspicion. A 2025 scientific American article cites cognitive bias, and post-World War II religious fervor likely amplified the event. Evidence points to psychological, not divine origins. So Fatima's impact, however, is profound. It draws 6 million pilgrims yearly to its shrine, per a 2025 Vatican News article. The 1952 film, The Miracle of Our Lady of Fatima, spreads its fame on Films History Journal, making that claim. Online hashtags like Fatima Prophecies gained traction in 2025. The prophecies shaped COVID I'm sorry, I lost my place. The prophecy shaped Cold War. Sorry, I said COVID. Shaped Cold War anti-communism per a 2024 Catholic Herald review. Online forums like Fatima to 2025 tie them together to spiritual trends. And in 2025, a documentary with 1.3 million views on YouTube would back up the point. The Vatican's year 2000 secret release sparked global debate per Rutgers, or Routers, rather. Fatima remains a cornerstone of religious mystery, blending faith and intrigue. So, why is Fatima trending today? Online posts with thousands of engagements link this sun miracle to UFO sightings, citing its disc-like motion. A Reddit thread with a strong upvote debate debates divine versus extraterrestrial origins. Conspiracy influencers tie this all into the 2025 disclosure per Paranormal Review. An online poll shows that 50% favor a spiritual explanation. Skeptics online with significant support argue it's mass delusion. So, a divine or UAP event. This revival reflects the 2025 blend of faith and extraterrestrial communications and fascinations. So yeah, definitely something going on crazy there. I want to raid the Vatican archives, says Fedorable the Horrible. You know, that's the downside of that is you have to be able to read all those languages to understand what you're looking at. And you have to know what's down there before they let you in. Now, if I may, I have a lot of speculation regarding the Vatican archives. I do believe with my heart of hearts that when the Library of Alexandria finally burned, the books that were saved were taken to a place called the Serapeum. It was basically a temple to the god Serapis, which was a combination of like the Apis bull and some Greek god. I don't know off the top of my head. When the Greeks got to Egypt, they amalgamated all the gods back into people instead of animal-headed weirdos. And that's where Serapis comes in. So I think that some books or tablets or scrolls wind up in the Serapeum and then wind up in the Vatican archives at some point. So I think there's very old, ancient stuff down there that we'll never know the night of day. I'll see. All right, where are we at? The poll is complete for the Monsters, Aliens, Cryptid. We just wrapped up the story here regarding the Fatima Prophecies, and that's a really interesting one. That's one I'm very familiar with from going to Catholic school all those years. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. I think Marian apparitions actually really stand out. They're a really interesting phenomenon. I know that, and I don't think it's fair to call what American evangelical non-denominationals are Protestants, because they're just so far off base. And I mean, all Protestants are, but whatever's going on with American Christianity, where like they support nations that have nothing to do with us because the book says so. They're not reading the right chapters. They're not. But yeah, I think that's a little wild. Like we shouldn't be paying all this money out to other people. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I don't think there's a religious argument to be made like, hey, keep giving people money that don't need it because we can use it here. But I'm not getting too political. All right, we're going to roll into the last story here. Topic number 5, the Dulce Base conspiracy, underground alien lab, or a complete fiction. So Dulce Base is an alleged underground facility in New Mexico, a staple of this kind of lore. It has claims regarding alien human experiments and violent encounters between human soldiers and extraterrestrials. And we're going to examine the origin of it and Phil Schneider's claims and the debate raging today in 2025. So Dulce, New Mexico in the late 70s, the story kicks off with a man named Paul Benowitz. He was a businessman who claimed radio signals revealed an underground alien base beneath Archuleta Mesa. And this was a 1980 letter he wrote to MUFON. In 82, he alleged that a human alien experiment was being reported in UFO magazine by 1987. Now, John Lear's lectures, archived in UFO archives, described secret alien treaties. In 1955, Phil Schneider, a self-proclaimed engineer, claimed to have survived a 1979 alien firefight at Dulce, per his lecture on thought2go.com. In 2025, online discussions with thousands of engagements tied Dulce to UAP disclosure. No declassified records mention the case, per a 2024 FOIA request. The Jacilliary Apache Reservation nearby adds mystique, per a 2025 Native American Studies Journal. A 2025 podcast with 70,000 downloads fuels suspicion. This conspiracy blends extraterrestrial and governmental secrecy narratives. So I'm going to zoom in on Phil Schneider here. Phil Schneider was a pivotal figure in the Dulce lore. In 1995, he gave a lecture, which you can find on YouTube, claiming that in 1979, while drilling tunnels for Dulce, his team breached a cavern with hostile gray aliens already inside. A firefight ensues, killing dozens, leaving Phil Schneider scarred per mysterylores.com. And he describes 7 underground levels within a genetic lab per thought2go.com. His talks, given until 1996 when he passed, drew thousands per UFO Digest. His unfortunate and untimely death, per the Oregon coroner's report, is deemed very, very suspicious by supporters, according to howandwhy.com. In 2025, online forums with strong engagement tie his claims to UAP hearings. No scars or documents were verified, per a 2024 Skeptical Inquirer. And Schneider's vivid story drives Dulce's prominence, but it remains unproven. Now, what supposedly happened at Dulce, according to Benowitz in 1980, he claimed to be hiring experiments per MUFON files. Later in 1987, described alien tech exchanges per UFO Digest. Snyder's 1995 Nightmare Hall level include alien-human hybrids per mysteriousLore.com. And now, today's day, online posts with thousands of engagements, alleged abduction, and cattle mutilations. In a 2024 New Mexico journal, no tunnels or artifacts exist. And a Geological Society of America survey in 2025 will probably come up with the same results. A 2025 YouTube video with 1 million views depicts Dulce's labs. Whistleblowers like Tom Costello, cited in 1989, lack verified identities per Skeptical Inquirer. These layered claims create a gripping but unsubstantiated narrative of secret operations. Now, is Dulce real? Skeptics like Mark Plinkington, in a 2025 40 Times article, argued that Benowitz was fed Air Force disinformation to discredit UFO research. Schneider's claim lacks documentation, and his death was ruled self-inflicted, per the Oregon coroner's report. No seismic data supports underground facilities, according to a 2025 Geological Society of America piece here. Online skeptics with significant traction called Dulce a 1980s UFO myth. Psychological studies in 2024 through the Journal of Social Psychology linked that belief to distrust. No credible whistleblower has emerged, per 2025 investigators. A 2025 History.com article dismisses physical evidence, and Dulce's allure lies in speculation, not fact, but its grip indoors. Why is Dulce trending in 2025? Online posts with thousands of engagements link it to UAP hearings, alleging suppressed evidence, and a Reddit thread with strong upvotes debate Schneider's firefight versus disinformation. Conspiracy influencers said Dulce as fact, per Paranormal Review, and an online poll shows 48% believe in the base. So, skeptics online with significant support cite Benowitz's mental health struggles, per a 1980 UFO magazine. Live chats could ask this question: was this a real place or a myth? And, we'll see. Was this a real place or a myth? Who knows? Who knows? I feel like a place like this is probably real. Probably real in a spiritual sense. So I don't think it's completely off the pale. Beyond the pale, rather. Okay, where we at? Hey, it's another super chat from Make Iwa Incorporated. I hope I said that right. Close. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Thank you very much, Sue. Weird. Okay. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Does anyone know the spelling of this underground location or facility? Polydub. Hey, Polydub. Hey, listen, everybody. Polydub's got a great channel. Big fan. They do the Noir Bar, which is a fun show. Do enjoy it. Often on late nights when I'm home and can enjoy it. But yeah, Polydub, nice guy too. We had a nice conversation quite a while back. Been a minute, but we had a really long conversation one day on Discord. Very fun to get to know Polydub. and great content. So please subscribe. Now, Polydub, there are a lot of these underground locations and facilities regarding the dumb bases. So Schneider was the one who brings this kind of thing to the forefront, and then it really establishes the idea of the deep underground military base. But recently, Tucker Carlson hosted a woman who was a former Bush administration official who claimed that since 1997, $127 trillion was siphoned out of the U.S. for the purpose of constructing 170 bases around the world. So who knows how true it is, but I don't put it past nobody, you know? Okay. Oh, poor Petey's so tired. Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think we got through everything here. I think it was all my topics there for the night. And we were about 7 minutes past the hour. I gotta be honest, the last couple paragraphs there were a blur. I don't know if I was here or not. In the body or out of the body, I don't know. Polydub says, thanks, Pete. Been too damn long since I caught a stream live. Still loving the content. Thank you so much, Polydub. Like I said, I love your channel. Great stuff. It's just I try to catch Noir Bar whenever it's on. And like I said, being on at nights is fantastic. And I know Jack's here. Jack, I saw your comments on Twitter. They're coming through on this screen here. Jack and Monkey in the Morning, Ranting Monkey. Fantastic political commentary, real lighthearted, goofy stuff. But I mean, they're great together, got great chemistry. So shout out to those guys. And also shout out to the Unbelievers podcast. Like I said at the beginning, give them all a follow. They're great shows. Another super chat rolling in from it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs for $1.99. Courtney says, wait for it. Thank you very much, Courtney. Much appreciation. Yes. Looks like Fedorable suggests I go to sleep. Now, I don't know if I actually fell asleep on stream. I don't think I did, but I'm pretty out of it at this point. Eyes getting cross-eyed, losing my place. Just very unprofessional. It's so uncouth. So uncouth. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Jeff of the David Clan says, damn, we got a full house tonight for $2. Thank you, Jeff of the David Clan. I do appreciate the super chats, everybody. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to try and pad it out another 2 minutes so we can end after, 70 minutes instead of 60. But yeah, I'm going to try and ride this out for another 2 minutes. Let's do some thank yous. First and foremost, thank you to Tina Tomaszewski, our live chat moderator. Then I'm going to get into some chats for these, some thanks for these super chats here. Let me see. The Unbelievers Podcast. Jeff of the David Clan. Ginger Viking Jesus. Guru Augie. Maka Iwa Incorporated. It's Courtney, Fellowship of Oddballs. And a couple more repeats here from Jeff of the David Clan. Damn, we got a full house. Thank you, Jeff of the David Clan. Followed up by Ginger Viking Jesus for a $5 super chat that says critical hit. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Especially helps me out these days because I feel like I owe everybody like $200 every week. It's like 20 people want all my money. I don't know what's going on. Oh, holy smokes. Christina Gomez. Yo, I'm doing shout outs channels. I was just talking about Christina Gomez the other day. Incredible talent. Christina, I mentioned this when Joe Rogan had cited one of her tweets. Christina, I don't think it's going to be much longer before you're a guest on Joe Rogan's show. I really believe that someone like you is the future of this entire area of research. I used to think myself young compared to the guys that do most of this kind of research. A lot of old dudes, always has been, going back to guys like Lloyd Pye and Jim Mars, lots of old guys. And to see some youthful enthusiasm for these topics, it's really heartwarming. And I'm just very lucky to even know you. Great work. It's fantastic work. So if you're not following Christina Gomez, and I'll tell you what, she's a little more respectable than what I do. I just deal with woo. Christina does what I avoid doing, the nuts and bolts, the actual, the stories that, and my argument is that nothing ever moves the needle. But That's because I'm jaded and I've been waiting for disclosure for 40 years. And, but I mean, things do happen. Things do happen. Hearings are going on. People are making noise about it. I think recently the vice president made some noise, and I only know that because I follow Christina's work. So yes, please check out Christina Gomez. Thank you very much, Christina, for the super chat. And please never stop doing what you're doing. Absolutely fantastic. At the forefront of this, and really cutting edge, young blood. So keep it up. Thank you very much, Christina Gomez. Then another one from Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs for $1.99. Game over, man. Game over. So yeah. All right, listen, I just got a second wind now. I just got a second wind, but I think it's good that we say goodnight for the evening. I am out of topics, and we did nail our 5. I'm over by about 10 minutes. I kept it a lot tighter than the last time. We did get it through everything. So listen, thank you to everybody for the generous super chats. I really appreciate you all tuning in. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitter, everyone on Instagram. Thank you for checking us out tonight. We will be back next Saturday night at midnight into Sunday morning. We will cover another slew of new topics trending in the world of the weird, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I feel like the weeks between these shows seems like a long time. Again, I got a bunch of new topics on the docket. I have been working diligently on research for a bunch of new videos, and I'm going to venture into the realm of shorts. Many of you may not know, but for many years now, I've been keeping an incredibly long Excel sheet with over like 560 different topics that I had yet to cover. And some were just too short for a real video. So I often wondered what I do. Now, I recently rediscovered the list on my email. I had emailed it to myself, I guess, in some time past. And I said, you know what? This is something I can actually use these really scant topics on some shorts. So I would like to get to the point where we're doing some of that stuff as well. So yeah, moving right along, bigger and better things. We're going to keep moving forward. You can't let the bastards grind you down. And like I said, the channel's has some up and downs. I got to be absolutely honest. I have not added one new subscriber in the last 365 days because the amount I lose is greater than the amount I gain. So I've been in the negative for like a year. I have slipped below 32,000 for the first time in a couple of years. Just keep losing more. That's why I'm encouraging everybody to get this out there. Get it in front of some eyeballs. If you're new, please subscribe, like, share, follow if you're on Instagram, follow if you're on Twitter. Hey, follow everywhere. But thank you all very much. Almost Tactical for $5. Yo, Almost Tactical. What's up? Welcome back. That's great. I love seeing all these long-time names pop up back here. It makes it all worth it. You all warm my heart. The fact that anybody cares what the hell I have to say about anything. So I've been really working over the past few weeks to tighten this show up, to provide more information in a more succinct and articulate manner. I think we had a really good one tonight, and that's because of you guys. You made it what it was. So yes, thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate the contribution you make to this community just by being here. Each and every one of you is a fantastic example of a curious mind who is able to really critically think, I guess, in ways that many of our peers in society cannot. So kudos to all of you, and let's keep it up. Let's keep looking for the truth, looking for these answers, delving into all the mysteries of the paranormal, extraterrestrial, historical, and fringe here on Dark Sayings. So I'm going to wrap it up there. My name is Pete, master of mysteries and antiquary of the arcane, or maybe just a weirdo in the dark. This has been Dark Sayings, specifically Dark Sayings Midnight Mystery Session, which we do every Saturday at midnight into Sunday. So if you are around on those times, join us at least the once a week when we do a live stream for an hour, and I give you 5 solid topics and some information on those. Thank you again. I hope you have a great night. This has been Dark Sayings, and until next time. This is the part I find very strange and weird. I don't know how to stop all these damn streams at once. I think I got to do them each individually. So we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks for coming on in, everybody, again. Thanks for the super chats. See you all next week. Hey, like I said, I'm up all night. Don't hesitate to throw me some DMs with your weird questions. Ginger does it all the time. Ginger Viking Jesus is always like, what do you think would happen if the vampires did this? He's always got interesting questions for me. So, hey, if you got any weirdo questions, don't hesitate to throw them my way. Get me on Twitter, get me on Instagram. It don't matter. I want to leave comments under the video. You can do that too. All right. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Until next week, this has been Dark Sayings. I'm your host, Pete.